Have you ever heard someone say that you have to become the kind of person that you want to date? And if you have, then you might be wondering, what does that even mean? This is something that I've been pondering a lot lately, and I came up with some realizations that I wanted to share in hopes that it'll help people who are in the same boat. So, the first thing that I noticed is that I think that you have to show your nervous system what it feels like to be calm and cared for. Because if your nervous system is used to being around people who make you feel anxious or unsure, or you don't know if they can commit, there's like a lot of questions, then you may be attracting those kind of people unconsciously. It's not like you actually want somebody who is emotionally unavailable, or maybe they're not great with communication, but that's simply what your nervous system is used to. So you just naturally gravitate towards that. So the first step is showing your nervous system that you can get into this calm place, because now your nervous system can trust you. You have that self-trust. And when you have self-trust, I think that you start to believe more in the fact that somebody can come along and treat you that same way and make you feel just as calm. But it does start with you. I think about when I work with kids, I model for them how to act appropriately. I have had kids get really excited and they will slap me on the arm because they're just really excited, or maybe they're just trying to get my attention. Then I will tell them, I'll say, oh, I really like high fives. Let's do a high five instead. So I'm showing them this is the way, and then eventually they'll learn, oh, you just do high fives instead of slapping. That's the appropriate way. I don't think it's any different when you are talking with yourself. I think that as an adult, you have to model how you want to be treated by someone else. So what this might look like is, for example, I'll use myself as an example here. If I want a partner who respects my boundaries and who creates the safe space for me to show up as me, I don't have to put up a mask. I don't have to try to act like somebody I'm not. This means that I have to embrace all that I am. There have been times where somebody would ask me to go to a party, let's say, and I don't like house parties. That's just not my thing. But I would go anyway. But even though that's going against my values, I would go anyway because I didn't want to make anybody feel bad. I thought, oh, let me just make a quick appearance, even though I feel a little uncomfortable. That's what I used to do. And I wouldn't have a good time, and then afterwards I'd be like, oh, why'd I do that? Like, it's not, this isn't even helping me in any way. This is going against my values, and it is me stepping over my own boundaries. So what I do now is I check in with myself. If somebody invites me somewhere, I will ask myself, do I genuinely want to go? Is this something that fills my cup, or does it deplete my energy when I do this activity or I'm around these people? I check in with myself first because I want to make myself a priority. So if you're someone who sometimes oversteps your own boundaries and you say yes when you really want to say no, I think it's good to explore that and check in with yourself. Ask yourself, why are you saying yes when you, and this is not about judging. This is just about a gentle, being curious really about yourself and how your mind works. And so maybe ask yourself, are you doing this because you feel obligated, or what's the reason? Because we should always be making ourselves a priority. And I know that might sound selfish. I think there are instances where sometimes you do things for other people that aren't exactly exciting, like maybe visiting somebody in the hospital, something that's really serious. Then of course you will do that. But otherwise, there's some things that just might not fit your lifestyle or your values. And I think it's really good to honor that sometimes you just don't want to go to the party. Sometimes you just don't want to be around that energy. And I think it's good to acknowledge that and then follow through with it and know that other people can take care of themselves. If somebody gets mad because you didn't go to a party or you didn't show up somewhere, they can definitely be around other people, or they can just do whatever they're going to do to make themselves feel better. But hey, you got to be number one. If you want to be a priority in the relationship and you want your partner to be putting value on what you stand for and really honoring your boundaries, then again, it's got to start with you. So I think that's really what it means to become the person that you would like to date. It's about matching that energy. You got to get on the same wavelength as this person, because I promise you, that person that you're envisioning does exist. The person who's kind, considerate, family oriented, whatever traits you want them to have, that person absolutely exists. Because if you can envision it, then it is out there. I really believe that. But again, you got to get on that same vibration as that person. So you might ask yourself, well, a partner who acts that way, what does their life look like on the daily? What are they prioritizing? Who are they showing up as? And then flip it back on yourself. Are you doing that? Are you honoring your boundaries? Are you being gentle with yourself when you make mistakes and know that it's just a learning experience? You're just human. We all make mistakes sometimes. No need to beat yourself up. This is simply about becoming more aware of how you are responding to you. It's not about being perfect. Even if you do catch yourself judging, just be proud that you caught yourself and now you can turn it around. Because again, this is the way that your partner is going to treat you. This is also believing that you are worthy of an incredible partner. And I think it just comes back to taking care of our thoughts, how we're viewing ourselves. When we see ourselves in a way that's really loving and uplifting, chances are we're going to feel a lot more worthy of that relationship that we so desire. So take this back to yourself first. If you notice that you have been drawing in partners that are not really what you want, it's the same kind of person over and over. Maybe it's a different haircut, maybe they have a different looking face, but it's the same type of energy that you keep drawing in. Instead of judging that, and especially instead of judging the other person, because that's just how they are. So just let them be who they are, and you can find somebody who's better aligned to you. Then you want to think about if you're ready to break the pattern. Because for me, I have been drawing in emotionally unavailable men for quite some time. And I really had to look at that. I really had to take a good, hard look at why I've been attracted to these kind of people. And then I realized, it's just that my nervous system has been used to feeling anxious with inconsistency. That's what it is. So now I'm training my nervous system. Oh, this is what it feels like to be calm. This is what it feels like to feel so peaceful and safe and loved. I do this for myself by coming out here in nature. I know I talk about this in probably all my videos, but I'm getting my nervous system used to that feeling of safety, because that's exactly how I want to feel in a relationship. And I do this by honoring my boundaries too. Like I said earlier, I will only do things that make me feel good and fill my cup. I spend time with people who are uplifting and positive, and we share ideas instead of gossiping, for example. I fill my mind with positive information. I do research on healthy traits in a relationship, and I do not consume negative media. I don't watch the news. I don't consume any kind of media that makes me feel bad. And hey, I'm not judging you, if you're someone who watches the news, or, you're interested in politics or whatever it is, that's fine. But I'm just talking about, from my standpoint, what feels best for me. So you have to think about becoming aware of whatever you're consuming during the day, whatever you're reading about or listening to. Is this making you feel more peaceful, or is this giving you more anxiety? Because that is what your nervous system is going to get used to. And then you're going to attract people according to the energy that you're used to. So just become aware of that. Just think about the energy that you surround yourself with on the daily, and then just think about, yeah, is this helping me get closer to attracting that incredible nurturing relationship, or is it pulling me a little further away from that? Just something to think about. So I am going to start wrapping up the video here. I have had such a great time just sharing my thoughts, and I'm really happy that you're here with me and that you get to see all this beautiful nature around me. It is, oh my goodness, it is just such a gorgeous day. So really happy that you could be here with me. And if you liked this content, then you can go ahead and subscribe. On this channel, I talk about things like dating advice, learning how to manifest your life and living intentionally, all that good stuff, and just stepping into a greater version of you. So if you resonate with that, then you can follow me. The other thing I want to mention before I go is I am a mindset and empowerment coach. So I help people overcome limiting beliefs and step into their power and start creating their dream lives. So if you're interested in that, then you can click the link below and you can schedule your free consultation. We'll talk on the phone for probably about 20 minutes. I'll tell you about my coaching style. You can tell me about what you are looking for in a coach, and we'll see if our energy is aligned. So again, link in description if you're interested. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a gorgeous day, and I'll see you next time.